Alright guys, we are in the 2011 E350 wagon. And that guy was not yielding. So we're going to take it up on the Truman. We're going to cruise a little bit. We're obviously not in a AMG or a GT3 or anything crazy. So we're looking for a nice smooth ride, which is what you'll get. So we're in economy, I guess. I'm going to put it in sport, which is where I normally drive. You get a little bit more performance, a little bit better throttle response. Cruise, not that you can tell, but I did. Turn it off. We can do the paddle shifters again. Can't really tell. So we're going 77, just at 2,500 RPM. Truman in Savannah, Georgia. Not very exciting. She drives nice and true. There's no noises, wobbles, pulls, drifts, clunks, shimmies, shakes, so on and so forth. So I'm going to keep it rolling as we get down to my exit. You can keep watching. It's just going to be more of the same, or you can disengage or fast forward, whatever you want to do. So I will say one thing, and I will mention this in my walk-around video, and I'm sure it'll come up in the comments. This car, this one right here, it does not have a lot of options. Like, it doesn't have blind spot, it doesn't have the dynamic seat, it doesn't have Distronic, the adaptive cruise. So you could look at that as a negative. I would look at it as a positive. Because I've had the ones with the seats and the cruise and the blind spot and the this and the that, and they're great. But fixing them is a pain in the ass. So if it was all the same to me, I would take one without all that stuff. It has halogen headlights. I had to put a headlight assembly, and that was a Xenon. Man, it was almost $1,000 for a used one, and a halogen headlight was like headlight assembly. I'm talking, it was like $150. It was crazy. It's the craziest thing. So You could say it doesn't have all the options, which is true. But you could also say, as far as having a W212 E-Class wagon, then you're not worried about all the options. In my opinion, a lightly optioned one is almost an advantage as far as cost of ownership. My 2 cents. As far as driving them, I mean, I've driven, I think I sold 4 or 5 maybe on here. I mean, they all drive the same. They all drive exactly identical. So, you know, you're saving yourself some potentially big expenses down the road when all those fancy doodads decide they want to break. Or if you ever need a headlight assembly. That was crazy. I couldn't get over that. But, yeah. What are you gonna do? You need headlights. So another big problem, everybody, you know, I've had a number of these, you know, people always ask about delayed shifts on the transmission. This thing shifts perfect. There's no delayed shift, there's no kick, there's no slip. It is right on the money. It does have the basic options that you would want. It has, you know, the reverse camera, has the HK stereo, which is nice, has the heated seats, which is nice, pano sunroof, even though it's 80 degrees here in December, so I never opened the sunshade, but it's there if you want it, and it works, so that's good. We catch a red light, I'm going to keep rolling, because why not? So we got new pads on the rear. I did the oil change myself. New tires, and then the rear suspension airbags were completely, they were completely shot. It would lose pressure in like an hour. It was terrible. So we got new bags on the rear and then calibrated them. And I'll mention this again. As far as the rear ride height goes, with my scan tool, I can actually lower it or raise it. I can calibrate it to a higher or lower setting if the buyer, whoever wins the auction, if you want it higher or lower, I can do it. Alright, so we're at a red light. I'm going to go ahead and cut off here. I think we get the general idea of how she drives. If you have questions, by all means, please let me know. Thank you.